It's been nearly a decade since Blockbuster closed its doors for good, but many of us still feel a sense of nostalgia when we think about it. Going to Blockbuster used to be a weekly event for many families. You'd open the door and be greeted by the smell of popcorn. Then you'd walk past the newest releases, straight to the back where all the classics waited patiently. This entire industry was worth billions of dollars, and at its peak, Blockbuster was the biggest player of them all. They had 9,000 stores worldwide, not to mention millions of customers, but somehow this massive corporation that dominated an entire generation ended up going bankrupt. So what happened? Well, in today's video, we're gonna dive deep into the fall of Blockbuster, explore how they lost to Netflix, and learn some valuable business lessons along the way. If you're ready, let's get into it. Section 1, The Rise of the Giant. In the 1990s, if you wanted to watch a movie, there was really only one place to go, Blockbuster. Bright blue and yellow signs lit up every city street. Families flocked there on Friday nights, picking out VHS tapes and later DVDs, enjoying the ritual of browsing endless rows of movies. Blockbuster was huge. At its peak, it had over 9,000 stores worldwide and was making billions in revenue. Its model was simple: rent a movie, return it within a few days, or pay the late fee. And oh, those late fees. They were a goldmine. For decades, customers just paid them without a second thought. But while Blockbuster was busy growing bigger and relying on its proven model, a small, unknown company in California was quietly experimenting. It was called Netflix. Founded in 1997, Netflix started as a DVD by mail service. No stores, no late fees, just a subscription model where you could pick movies online and get them delivered to your home. Of course, this idea didn't take off immediately. In fact, most of the first customers came from Blockbuster referrals who saw the Netflix ad on the back of rental receipts. But soon enough, the convenience of no due dates, unlimited rentals, and free shipping started turning heads. Even more surprising, though, was how Netflix was able to turn those heads with very little money. For years, their entire marketing budget was less than Blockbuster's monthly late fee revenue. Here's the business lesson. Sometimes innovation isn't about having more, it's about solving a real customer pain point. This goes against the conventional wisdom that if you want to succeed, you need to offer something groundbreaking, like creating a completely new category of products. But that's not always necessary. Sometimes a simpler approach can work wonders. And now that we've seen how Netflix began, let's see how they built their lead and eventually took down the king. Section 2, The Turning Point. By the early 2000s, Blockbuster was still king, but cracks were forming. Customers were frustrated with late fees, limited stock, and the need to physically drive to a store. Meanwhile, Netflix's subscription service made movie watching effortless. Not to mention Netflix was evolving quickly. By 2006, they were testing a feature called Netflix Watch Instantly, which allowed users to stream movies directly from their website. This marked a shift from DVDs in the mail to a fully digital experience, setting the stage for the streaming era. On top of this, Netflix made data-driven decisions to tailor recommendations and improve the user experience. They created a proprietary algorithm called the Cinematch algorithm, which analyzed users' ratings and preferences to recommend relevant movies. Here's the business lesson: don't underestimate the power of data and algorithms. Netflix turned data into gold, recommending movies that viewers were excited about, which increased engagement and satisfaction. Now, despite these changes, Blockbuster was still a major player, so what went wrong for them? Well, part of the issue was greed. In 2000, Netflix offered Blockbuster a chance to buy them for $50 million. Now, this may seem like a lot of money, and at the time, Netflix had a lot of growth ahead of it. So maybe the offer wasn't as low as it seemed, but Blockbuster simply laughed it off. In fact, they continued to expand, opening more stores and thinking that being big was the ultimate goal. The problem was this strategy ignored changing customer habits and the rise of streaming. Fast forward a few years, and things were looking very different. Netflix was growing exponentially, posting record revenue and expanding internationally. On the other hand, Blockbuster stumbled with outdated technology and diminishing foot traffic. They missed the boat on streaming and found themselves in hot water. In 2010, Blockbuster declared bankruptcy and was bought by Dish Network. They attempted a comeback by focusing on streaming and gaming, but ultimately shut down all their retail locations in 2013. Here's the business lesson: ignoring disruption is dangerous even if you're the market leader. Flexibility and early adoption can make or break a company. And that brings us to the next important question: what makes Netflix so special? What did they do differently? For starters, Netflix is a pioneer in adapting to technology. From DVDs to streaming, they embraced change and evolved accordingly. They realized the writing was on the wall and doubled down on streaming. They also focused on convenience. Think about it. With Netflix, you have an endless library at your fingertips and instant access. You can watch anytime, anywhere. This level of accessibility is hard to beat. Netflix also understood the importance of customer data. Their recommendation algorithm ensures that viewers find something worth watching every time. It's personalized and constantly improving, keeping customers engaged and satisfied. Another factor in Netflix's success is their willingness to experiment. They regularly test new features, pricing models, and content, constantly refining their offerings based on real user feedback. Finally, Netflix has a strong company culture that promotes freedom and responsibility. Employees are encouraged to take risks and learn from failures. There's a flat hierarchy and a focus on customer obsession. All of these factors combine to create a winning formula that has disrupted multiple industries. Netflix is no longer just about streaming movies. It's a cultural phenomenon. And let's face it, sometimes it feels like Netflix is everywhere. This raises an interesting question. Why hasn't anyone been able to replicate their success? Well, it's because they did something truly remarkable. They captured the hearts and minds of millions of consumers and became an integral part of our daily lives. Netflix isn't just a service, it's a lifestyle choice. And here's the final business lesson. True success is about more than just profits. It's about creating a brand that resonates with people. Netflix achieved this by understanding their audience, embracing change, and constantly innovating. So there you have it, the fascinating story of how Netflix changed everything. Remember, the giants of today might not be the leaders of tomorrow. Disruption is inevitable, and being adaptable is key. I hope you enjoyed this video, and before you go, please remember to hit that subscribe button for more insightful business content. Also, drop a comment below with your thoughts on Netflix's journey. Your comments always inspire others and help them learn more about the world around them. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, stay curious and keep learning.